All right, team, we're kind of concluding our unit here, and the last thing we want to be able to do is just solve and evaluate with inequalities. And notice they're no different than solving and evaluating with equations. They just have an inequality. All right, so in this video we're just going to learn how to do it, and I'm not going to explain why. In the next video I'm going to explain why it all makes sense. In this video, let's just get practice. Let's just get you feeling good on how to do it. And then in the next video, you will learn why. So my friends, let's begin. So here's the inequality. Let y be less than 4x plus 1. Determine the solution to the inequality when x is equal to 3. So I'm plugging in 3 for x. So we're going to get y is less than 4 times 3 plus 1. So we get y is less than 4 times 3 is, my friends, going to be 12 plus 1, and we get y is less than 13. And again, don't worry about this for now. This is just, I just want to show you how to do this, and you'll learn later what these exactly mean in terms of the graph. So here, let y equal this. Determine when y is equal to negative 4. Notice I'm telling you to plug in the y value negative 4 into here. So negative 4 is less than 4x plus 1. So we subtract 1 on both sides. We always want to get rid of any addition or subtraction because we're solving for x now. And we get negative 5 over here is less than 4x. All we have to do now is divide by 4. Opposite of multiplication is division, and we get x boom is greater than negative 5/4. I don't, you have to use your calculator for that if you wanted to, but this is fine. Again, if I wanted to rewrite this, notice that if I make my 3 little dots, there's 2 dots versus 1, so I'll make my 2 dots over here, 1 here, just making, basically I'm flipping it so that the x is on the left hand side, and we get such like this. Boom, x is greater than negative 5/4. All right, that's just solving and evaluating. Again, let's just get some practice with these and nothing real crazy. So here's the only thing, the big difference is when you have to divide or multiply by negative values, it's gonna flip your inequality. And you might ask yourself, what? Well, that's why. Well, my friends, don't worry for now. I will get to that in the next video, I promise. I just want you to at least understand how to do it so that when I explain why, it's not too confusing trying to know how to do it and understand. Let's just know how to do it, and then we'll be able to work through it. So if I want to solve for n, well, I'm multiplying by negative 15, so we need to divide by negative 15 to both sides. Okay, when I divide by a negative or multiply by a negative to both sides, essentially your inequality is going to flip. So it's gonna look like this. It's just basically just flipping, and we get 45 divided by 15. And I like to put these 3 little dots just because we like to have the variable to the left hand side. So there should be n, my 2 dots here, dots there, and I'll just match them up. Okay, the equal to symbol, and it's 3. So n is greater than or equal to 3 would be my final solution here. Let's take a look at the problem to the left. Which inequality represents all possible solutions of negative 3n is less than 12? So here I'm just going to divide negative 3 to both sides because it's multiplying. We get n. Well, notice the inequality should flip, right? Whenever we divide or multiply by negative, the inequality flips and we get negative 4. So there it is. And what's the answer? Well, it would be B. N is less, oops, my bad, not less than, because the inequality flipped. That would be the trap. There it is, D. So B, B is very bad, my friends. It's there to trap you, because you have to keep in mind, anytime you divide by negative, you need to flip the inequality. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the problem down below here. Which inequality represents all possible of this? Well, just divide by negative 12. Okay, and flip the inequality because you're dividing by negative, and then you basically just do this. Negative 24 divided by 12 is 2. So boom, there it is. So n is greater than 2, which is B, right over there. Okay. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and take a look at some more challenging ones here. So solve for the inequality for W. Well, notice in this case, we have an addition or subtraction actually showing. So I always want to get rid of that. So first thing I'm going to do in this problem is I'm just going to subtract 17 to both sides. Okay, so we got negative 2w plus 17 is less than 13. Subtract 17 to both sides like such. This cancels out here. 13 minus 17 is going to give me -4. Okay, and I'm just following this here. We get -2w like such. Okay, well now I need to divide by -2. And whenever we're dividing or multiplying by a negative value, it's going to flip the inequality. -4 divided by -2. The negatives cancel, and we're left with 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So we get w is 2. Okay. Let's take a look at the problem over here to the left, and this is our last example here, and just showing you, well, in this case, we need to get rid of any addition or subtraction. Again, the 4 and the p are multiplying, so we do that last. There's a -16, so we need to add 16. Why did I get 17? Add 16 to both sides. This cancels. 20 plus 16 is 36. And we're left with 4p. Okay, is the 4 a negative? No, it's not. There's no negative here, so we divide 4 to both sides, okay? And it does not flip our inequality. It only flips it when we're dividing by a negative number or multiplying. In this case, it's a +4, so we divide by 4, no negatives, so that stays the same like such. 36 divided by 4, if I recall correctly, is 9. But blah. Okay, now that we have that there, well, we like the variable to be on the left, so I'll write p over here. I like to make my 3 little dots like such, and I know the 2 dots are next to the p, so I'll make my 2 dots here, the little dot here, connect the line, boom, put the equal to and 9. So p is bigger than or equal to 9. And there it is, my friends, solving and evaluating with inequalities. In the next video, we'll go over why it makes sense.